If you asked me about a year ago what I thought would be 2016's new Mario installment, the last thing I would have guessed is an endless runner. Super Mario Run is Nintendo's newest and first mobile game on the market. And I say first because, unlike Miitomo, it isn't some free one-week excursion. This title is indeed a fully fleshed out game, if its pricing model wasn't already an indication. You have to give Nintendo some credit for attempting to keep Super Mario Run up to the series' usual quality standard. They could have easily scrapped together some lazy Infinite Mario Runner where the terrain randomly generates that's free and has microtransactions. Instead, they chose to put effort into their product, and in the mobile gaming market, that's something I have to commend them for. Whether or not that turns out to be financially beneficial for the company in the long term remains to be seen. But it's an important point to bring up in a review for Super Mario Run. Despite the game's quality standard being reflected in the pricing model, the model itself is potentially one of the greatest flaws. For free, you can download a part of Super Mario Run, which is a level pack of 4 stages. If you want the full experience and amount of stages, you have to buy the full game for $9.99 US. While that might seem a little steep for a Mario mobile game, it makes sense that Super Mario Run is so expensive. Like I said before, it's a complete Nintendo game. The company probably wouldn't turn a profit if the price wasn't that high, or at least that's my conjecture. Personally, spending $10 on a mobile Mario title wasn't something I was too thrilled about. The first 4 levels seemed like enough for me to satisfy my Mario itch on the phone, and yet I did it anyways. I took the plunge. Do I still wish, in a perfect world where companies didn't have profit margins to meet or investors to please, that this was entirely free? Yes, of course. I would have felt much better about plunging into Super Mario Run if there was no paywall whatsoever. Regardless, the game itself is surprisingly good. It's not something that'll blow you out of the water with its sheer depth and quality, but for a mobile product, it's well made and entertaining. In Run Mario Super, you take control of Mario, who has been cursed to never stop running until he dies. By pressing the screen for certain lengths of time, you can make Mario jump at certain heights, which makes traversing the obstacles in your way a lot easier. See, you'd think something as stupidly simple as endlessly running would get tiresome and bland really fast. Surprisingly, that's not the case here. What I think really negates this issue is the smart level design and flashiness, for lack of a better term. All the levels are solidly structured, with each having a unique element or level theme to boot. Sometimes you'll encounter situations where you have to bounce off of Goombas to avoid bottomless pits, or these new blocks that make you go forwards or backwards when you jump. Sure, this isn't necessarily an innovation on how Mario plays. You could easily make a lot of these stages in Super Mario Maker, but again, that's not really problematic. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with the level design or concept of this mobile game. It's obvious that Super Mario Run was streamlined to make it accessible for all potential consumers, and it works. Plus, there's the added flair of Mario having these cool new jumping animations. Wow! I'm not being sarcastic here. It's interesting to see Nintendo take the extra step and animate something new specifically for this mobile game. Aside from these main levels, you can also face off against your friends to compete with how stylish you can make your run of a level. The winner is awarded more toads, which go to populating your own customizable Mushroom Kingdom and unlocking other playable characters. These playable characters come with their very own special abilities, as you'd expect, with Luigi having a higher jump and Yoshi being able to flutter, for example. So, Super Mario Run is mechanically solid and has quite a bit of content for a $10 mobile game, in my opinion. That being said, it's not perfect. As many others have noted, knowing when and how to jump takes some getting used to. Personally, I had no trouble getting into the swing of it. If you've played something like Sonic Runners, then you won't have any trouble with the controls. Though, I do have to say, there were like 2 times that I swear the game did not register my jumps. It could be my shitty broken phone, but it's worth noting nonetheless. Also, Super Mario Run's levels start to ramp up the challenge comfortably with the addition of more levels outside of the first 4 free ones. It's the sort of challenge that isn't due to bullshit, unfair enemy or platform placement. Everything's laid out for you initially, and it's up to the player to decide when and how to jump. This isn't the type of game to patronize the player a whole lot either, except for the beginning, but that's not too bad. Nothing about Super Mario Run is inherently flawed. Instead, it's fleshed out and enjoyable. Nintendo did a good job making a product that's easy to get into and play whenever you... Oh, wait? You can only play it online because of piracy concerns? Come on, Nintendo, it's 2016. You have to realize that this will not stop piracy, right? You do know full well that people will exploit and be able to pirate this game in like a month, tops, right? It will happen, and hindering your user base like this is disappointing. As someone who has limited mobile data, I can't afford to play Super Mario Run online when I'm not within a Wi-Fi signal. That means I can really only play it in my room, at school, or at Starbucks. If I'm on the train, I can't play it. If I'm on the bus, I can't play it. If I have downtime anywhere else in the world without Wi-Fi, I cannot play it. This is easily the biggest issue I have with the game. While it may not be an issue for you, personally, I can't be the only one who feels this way. And it does impede my overall enjoyment of the title because now I'm limited when and where I can play this game that's made for a mobile device designed specifically to be taken on the go. Boy, I sure hope the Nintendo Switch isn't like this to prevent piracy. Overall, Super Mario Run is fun. It's a good game, although it's nothing really to gush over. It's a standard, run-of-the-mill Mario installment at its very core, and depending on your perspective, that's either a tremendous boon or a huge detriment. But would I recommend you dish out $10 for the entire experience? Honestly, no. I firmly believe you can get your fix from the first 4 levels. The game's nothing extraordinary, and you could spend that money on more thrilling, engaging video game titles. If the game was like $5, I'd be more inclined to urge you to purchase it, and since I don't know if mobile games get price drops or sales, your purchasing decision is on your own. Take the critique I gave and judge it with how much you want to play the full version of Super Mario Run. Anyways, if you disagree or agree with my assessment, let me know in the comment section below. As always, thank you so much for watching and take care. Have a wonderful day and goodbye.